10 Scariest Things in Outer Space. We all know that the universe is vast and immeasurable. And since we are just a tiny dot in a massive black void, there are definitely some things going on in outer space. And most of them are pretty terrifying. Keep your feet gravitated as we tell you 10 scariest phenomena in outer space. Subscribe to our channel, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up or share it across social media channels. Number 1 is zombie stars. This might be the first time you heard the words zombie and stars in one sentence. When not enough mass needed to fully form a neutron star is present, what forms instead is called a white dwarf star. With a white dwarf star, there is no longer a fusion reaction taking place. Therefore, what is left is simply a ball in space slowly burning out. However, most stars travel in binary pairs, orbiting each other as they travel through space. Sometimes when one of the stars in a binary pair is a white dwarf, it will start to rob its neighboring star of its energy like some sort of parasite. Through this process, the white dwarf will gain the necessary mass to essentially come back to life as a fusion reaction is jump-started, ultimately culminating in a supernova. This is how a white dwarf star comes to be known as a zombie star. To clarify, a dead star can actually be reanimated by quite literally sucking the life out of its travel partner, only to complete the process by exploding. This showcases that while it may seem relatively peaceful from Earth, outer space is alive and breathing with celestial bodies doing whatever they can to survive. Yes, even astrological cannibalism. Number 2 is WASP-12b, which to be clear is not a child of Elon Musk. WASP-12b is a planet that is currently being devoured by its sun. While scientists were aware prior to this planet's discovery that a star could consume a planet, this was the first time such a phenomenon could be examined so clearly. WASP-12b is roughly 3 times the size of Jupiter and orbits its star WASP-12 so closely that it has heated the planet's surface to astonishingly high temperatures. Not only that, but it is also constantly scarfing up the planet's surface. The star is ripping this ill-fated planet apart in burning chaos at all times, while the planet travels around it at incredibly high speeds. It is estimated that WASP-12b loses roughly 6 billion metric tons of mass every second. In fact, it is being torn apart so quickly that it is no longer a sphere, but now takes the shape of an oval. Third, the Great Attractor is a true astrological anomaly. It is something lying in the far reaches of space with a massive gravitational pull, which catches virtually everything in its general vicinity. Where it gets strange is the fact that there is not nearly enough visible mass to justify the existence of a gravitational pull that big. The zone of avoidance is a region in the plane of the Milky Way that is so densely occupied by a preponderance of stars, galaxies, and general space dust that it obscures visible light, leaving us unable to observe distant galaxies. Through indirect methods, scientists were able to look beyond the zone of avoidance and discover the Norma cluster, which is estimated to contain 1 quadrillion solar masses. Even so, this cluster is still not massive enough to account for the sheer gravitational power of the Great Attractor. The planet TRES-2b is an entry on this list that is frightening on a more fundamental level, in that it is incredibly ominous-looking place. TRES-2b has been officially dubbed the darkest planet ever discovered by NASA. This planet reflects less than 1% of all the light that it hits it. This is partially due to the light-absorbing gases that occupy most of the planet's surface. Even so, astronomers are still not exactly sure how this planet manages to be as uncannily dark as it is. Number 5, at the center of a galaxy known as 3C303, is a supermassive black hole as is the case with most galaxies. What makes this one in particular so special though is that the magnetic field surrounding this black hole have generated the largest electrical current on record in the entire universe. This current was discovered by the University of Toronto and measures an absolutely staggering 10 by 18 amperes, the SI unit of electric current. To put that in a perspective, that means that this electrical current is the equivalent of over 1 trillion lightning bolts from here on Earth combined. In a nutshell, this current could do quite a bit more than making your hair stand on end. Next is the Uranus supervoid, which, just the name, holds terror. Another scientific anomaly that once again has the potential to turn everything we know about outer space on its head is the Uranus supervoid. Also known as the CMB cold spot, the supervoid is an enormous area in space that is completely empty. It is roughly 500 million light-years across and contains absolutely no traces of either regular matter or dark matter. Moreover, its sheer size makes it the largest thing in our universe discovered by NASA to date. Being in the supervoid would feel along the lines of being in some sort of proverbial purgatory, with no means of escape. Yep, that gave me the creeps. What we have next are quite literally shooting stars. No, not the name given to the trail left by a meteorite entering the atmosphere, but actual, factual stars speeding their way through the cosmos. As stated before in the entry on zombie stars, a good portion of stars in our universe travel in binary pairs. And as stated in the entry on gigantic electrical current, most galaxies have a black hole situated in their centers. That in mind, there are some instances in which a binary pair will get caught up in the gravitational pull of its galaxy's black hole. While one of these stars simply disappears into the void, the other is ejected out into space as a result of the massive and sudden change in gravity, at speeds reaching 10,000 kilometers per second. They travel so fast that they are able to break free of gravity and travel about the universe without restraint. Number 8 is wandering black holes. Yep, some of them move. Black holes, as most know, are empty voids in space with massive gravitational pulls that suck up everything around them, including light itself, into apparent oblivion. All in all, black holes are exceptionally terrifying just on their own. On the bright side, at least most of them are perfectly content with remaining stationary. However, there exist black holes who are the more adventurous sort. These are known as wandering black holes. These black holes travel aimlessly throughout the universe, consuming anything and everything in their path. Even more unsettling is just how fast these things are, moving at a speed of 5 million kilometers per hour, or roughly 1,389 kilometers per second. What's more terrifying is that no one truly knows what is on the other side of a black hole. Did anyone say chills? Next up is probably the coldest place in the open. We know that the universe is cold, though we don't know the extent of how cold it can get. According to some scientists, the absolute coldest in the known universe is the Boomerang Nebula. A nebula is a giant mass of gas and dust in space. But this one is so cold, clocking in at negative 457.87 Fahrenheit on an average, that scientists have been trying to understand exactly what happened to it for a while now. And as per a recent study, there's a perfectly good explanation for it. Apparently, it was ejected out after a star threw itself into another bigger star going through the last stages of its life, causing most of its matter to be ejected out as a cold burst. And last, but definitely not the least when it comes to fear-mongering, the triple galaxy collision. When galaxies collide, so do the supermassive black holes at the center of each galaxy. For the first time in 2019, Astronomers have observed a triple collision of galaxies, which have sent their black holes on a collision course, according to a new study. While two galaxies collide with each other more often than we'd think, it's rare to see three of them do it. What looks like just a blob of light in the pictures is three massive clusters of stars merging with each other, all the while forming stars at a rapid rate, around 200 solar masses per year at the center. And that's it on our list of 10 scariest things in outer space. We hope you don't hate Earth anymore at the end of this video. So we are perfectly fine here as long as we don't destroy our own planet. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and you can also recommend topics you want us to uncover just by simply dropping them in the comment section below. See you at the next one.